today I will be showing 4 ways on how to factor. The first one will be factoring completely. So our first question is 2x squared minus 20x plus 48. Now, we are going to bring down that 2, make our parentheses nice and big, and then we are going to do 2x squared divided by 2, which equals x squared. Negative 20x divided by 2 is negative 10x, and positive 48 divided by 2 is positive 24. Now, we are going to bring down this 2, make 2 sets of parentheses, add your x. You're going to think, what are my factors of 24? You're going to think 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and then we have 4 and 6. Now, we are all going to look at which one adds up to 10 when you add them together, but which one also, when you multiply them, equals 24. Now, we're obviously looking, we have 4 and 6. Those are obviously our factors. We're going to have x minus 6, and x minus 4. This is our first one. First answer. Now, that was number 1. Number 2, our question is 3x squared plus 30x plus 27. We are going to bring down that 3, like usual, make our parentheses. We're going to do 3x squared divided by 3, which equals x squared. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, x squared. And then we are going to do 30 divided by 3, which is positive 10x. 27 divided by 3 is positive 9. Now, we are going to think the same way back. We are going to think what times what equals 9, but when you add it, it equals 10. Now, when we're obviously looking, we're going to bring down this 3, make 2 sets of parentheses, add our x's, and now we have 10 and 9. Now, when you do 9 times 1, you get 9. When you do 9 plus 1, you also get 10. So that's a pretty easy one. We would obviously get those factors pretty well. Positive 9 and positive 1 is your second answer. Kind of went on top of it. That's our answer. Now, number 3. This is our final question for our factoring completely questions. We are going to be doing 4x squared plus 24x minus 64. Then we are going to bring down our 4, make our parentheses. We are going to think 4x squared divided by 4. We have x. 24 divided by 4, positive 6x, and negative 64 divided by 4 is negative 16. Now, we are going to bring down the 4 once again, make 2 sets of parentheses, add our x's. Then we are going to be doing our factors of 16 and 6. Now, these factors are going to be, we're going to be thinking back what times what equals negative 16, but also when you add them up equals positive 6. Now, when we're thinking, we're going to think 8 and 2, okay? So we have 8 and 2. Now, for our signs, we are thinking what would give us positive 6 and what would give us negative 2. We're going to add our positive and our negative for 2 because this is greater than 2. This is our answer. Nicely done. Now, our next factoring way is going to be factoring out a GCF. Now, for our first one, we will be starting off, we will be doing 3x minus 9. Now, when you're thinking about this one, you are going to be thinking about it kind of reverse of how you would get the problem. So when you have 3x minus 9, you're going to be thinking, how am I going to get 3x and how am I going to get 9? You are going to make your parentheses and you are going to add your x because we have an x here. Now, what times x would give us 3? 3. What times 3 is going to give us negative 9? 3. So we are going to add our negative 3, and that is our answer. For number 2, our answer is 2x squared minus 50x. And then we have our parentheses. We're going to bring them down. We are going to add our x, and we are going to think what times x is going to give us 2x squared. We are going to do 2x, because when you do 2x times x, that gives you the ability to make it squared. So you're going to do 2x times x, and then what times 2 is going to give you 50. You are going to add negative 25 because of our negative sign right here. So now we have our final answer, 2x parentheses x minus 25. Third question is 6x plus 12. We're going to make our parentheses like usual, add our x. What times x is going to give us 6x? 6 and x gives us 6x right here. Then we will be adding our positive sign because we get a positive. We will be doing what times what? 6 times what gives us 12? That would be 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Therefore, this being the answer. Now, for our third step, we are going to be doing factoring a equals 1. Now, for our first question for this one, we will be doing x squared minus 1x. Well, really x, but I put the 1 to remind me it's there. 1x minus 42. We will be making our parentheses 2 sets, adding our x's right here, and we will also be thinking what gives us 42 when you multiply them, but when you subtract them or add, gives you negative 1. If you're thinking the numbers have to be 1 apart from each other, so you're thinking the first thing that comes to mind is 7 and 6, because when you do 7 times 6, you get 42. When you do 7 plus 6, negative 7 plus 6, I should say, we will be getting negative 1. So, x minus 7 and then x plus 6 is our final answer for our first one. Then, our second question, we will be doing x squared plus 12x plus 36. Okay, now for this one, we will be doing the same thing, making 2 sets of parentheses and bringing the x down, hence the x squared. We have an x and an x, making it squared. We will be thinking back to our factors of 36, and if we're factoring them off, we have 1 and 36. And then we have 2, and then we have 18. Then we do 36 divided by 3, 12 and 3. Then we get 4 and 9, and then we get 6 and 6. Now, you're thinking, what can add up to 12 but also equals 36? 1 and 36 obviously doesn't equal 12. 2 and 18, obviously no 12. 3 and 12 doesn't equal it. 4 and 9, close but doesn't equal it. And then we have 6 and 6, which equals 12. So we will be doing positive 6 and positive 6 is our final answer. Now, for our third and final question for our factoring a equals 1, we will be doing 3. So x squared minus 0x minus 49. We'll be adding our parentheses like always, bringing our x down for our x squared, and we will be thinking our factors of 49. These two have to be the same numbers considering they will be equaling 0. So when we're thinking what equals 49, they can also equal 0 when you add them up instead of multiplying. Now, we are thinking of positive 7, and we also have another 7. But because we have a positive and we have the two of the same number, for it to equal 0, we have to have a positive and a negative. So it will be x plus 7 and x minus negative 7 as our final answer. Now lastly, for our final set of factoring, we will be doing guess and check questions. Now, for this one, our first one we will be doing will be 2x squared minus 19x plus 24. We will be bringing down our parentheses like always, 2 sets, 2x, and we will be doing an x. So we have 2x on one side and then a plain old x on this side. We will be thinking of our factors of 24. So for 24, factors of 24, we have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and then we have 4 and 6. Now we're going to start from the bottom. That's how I do it. You can start from bottom to top, wherever. I'm starting with the bottom because I always find my luck there. We'll try, we will be trying negative 4, negative 6. We are going to multiply the outside numbers. So we have 2x times negative 6, and we will be getting negative 12x. Then we will have negative 4 times x. We get negative 4x. This would equal negative 16, which is obviously not 19. So we have to erase and try again. We will be trying 6 and 4. We will just be reversing the numbers. 2x times 4 is negative 8x. We have negative 6x, which obviously does not equal 19. We will be erasing these two as well. We will be trying 3 and 8. We have negative 8 times 2x, which will be getting us 16x minus 3x equals negative 19x, which is your final answer, 2x minus 3, and then we have x minus 8 as our final answer for this one. Now, our second one for this set of factoring, we will be doing 2x squared plus 21x plus 40. We will bring down our two sets of parentheses like always, 2x and then x on the other side. We will be doing positive and positive. Bring down the signs for both. We'll be naming our factors of 40. We have 1 and 40, 2, 20, and we have 4 and 10, and 5 and 8. Now, we will be starting from the bottom once again because that's how I like to start it. We will be doing 5 and 8. We have 2x times 8 equals 16x plus 5x. When we do 5 times x is 5x, and we get 21x. We got it first try. This is our answer, 2x plus 5, and then x plus 8, my bad. For our third one, we will be doing 3x squared plus 29x plus 18. For this one, we will be doing our two sets of parentheses like always, 3x, and then x. Naming off our factors of 18, we have 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and then we have 3 and 6. We will be giving our parentheses signs, positives, because they're both positive. We bring the signs down. We will be doing, starting from the bottom, let's try 3 and 6. 3x times 6 equals 18x plus 3x obviously does not equal 29x. Now let's reverse them. 6 and 3. 3 times 3 is 9x plus 6 obviously does not equal it. Now we will be trying 2 and 9. 2 and 9. 9 times 3 equals 27x plus 2 times x equals 2x equals 29x. Is our final answer. We have 3x plus 2 and x plus 9.